That's the sort of tension. Hello and welcome to Heroes of Handheld, the world's premium podcast dedicated to handheld gaming. We like to talk about mobiles, iOS, Android, and everything in between. I think Blackberries are still a thing, and maybe the Google phones. And I think I owned the first ever Google phone. You know, the Google-made phone. I think it's called the Nexus One.
I was going to say it was the Nexus.
Yeah, it's the Nexus One. And it was awful. It was a terrible phone. And what was really annoying about it, and this is probably the kicker for how bad it was, whenever I messaged anyone, you know, be it on text or whatever, or any sort of messaging app, the space bar was right so close to the full stop button. Like, you know, fair enough that normally that would be close anyway, but it was so close, in fact, that the space bar was really small. The full stop button was right next to it. So you'd end up, rather than having loads of spaces, you'd have like a whole text filled with full stops after each word. And that just really annoyed me. Yeah, couldn't get along with that. I can't remember. I think I owned it for like 3 or 4 months before it got stolen. So that was a dark day. Anyway, so here's a handheld. Hello, we're a podcast and we talk about handheld gaming. We like to also talk about Nintendo Switch, 2DS, PlayStation Vita every now and then, and PSP. If it's a handheld gaming device, chances are we will talk about it. And we are back again for another slice of podcasting action. I'm Colin. I'm one of your hosts. I'm holding the four of the four. I said that the wrong way around. I'm holding the hammer of 4 in my hand. You can hear it in the microphone. Oh, yeah, that's me whacking it against the mic. And over there in London town, it's Mr. P, Mr. Chrissy P. That's your rap.
Hello, Colin. How are you? I missed you a great deal. Do you remember when we both had Samsung Galaxy S3s and their whole thing was that you could do stuff using NFC and tapping the back of the phone?
Oh, yeah.
And we tried to share a contact detail by tapping our phones together in a cafe, and everyone thought we were dickheads. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were dickheads.
I did really well. And yeah, absolutely.
And it took ages to work as well. I don't think it worked as seamlessly as it was supposed to. Like, we had to keep rejigging the settings and sort of readjusting it. It's a bit of a pointless feature, to be fair. That's the thing with Samsung and their phones. They always introduce these like new features and exciting, well, they call them like groundbreaking features. But then Apple comes along and does the same thing, but redefines it and actually makes it good. So I think Apple are the kings of stealing ideas.
Well, because also like that technology would then go on to become Apple Pay.
Exactly.
It's the same thing, NFC and Google Pay and whatever. So, you know, they were ahead of the curve. It just wasn't very well implemented. Anyway, Colin, I hope you're well. How are you getting on with Hogwarts Mystery? Because it came out a week ago.
Last Wednesday. Yeah, 6 days ago.
Wednesday. I've not played it yet because I'm not a child, but what do you think?
You don't need to be a child to play anything Harry Potter. Harry Potter is for the ages. And I don't know, I probably asked this before. Have you read all the books of Harry Potter?
Yes.
How many times?
Read the books. I would say it starts off at about 4 or 5 and then it curves down because the last ones were so long.
Yeah,
and not as good.
You didn't have them as long. Yeah, back when I was younger, I'd read the Harry Potter series, and then as soon as I'd finished it, I'd start again from the beginning. And this was a thing for like 3 or 4 years in my teenage or childhood. So Harry Potter's a big thing to me, and I feel I'm pretty good with Harry Potter knowledge.
I'm gonna do a countdown. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and then at the same time, we're both gonna say the best Harry Potter book. Okay.
Oh, easy.
So it's 3, 2, 1 reveal. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, you're a moron. Goblet of Fire is shit.
Prisoner of Azkaban is good, but I feel like Goblet of Fire, there was just so much. The film doesn't do justice to the book, because with Goblet of Fire, it's the real turning point in the series. Obviously, it starts off with, Harry's going on adventures around Hogwarts. Oh, this is really nice. And it gets really dark really quick when he goes through that maze in the Triwizard Tournament. And things just take a nosedive in terms of theming and messages and where it's going.
It gets dark quick because the maze is right at the end.
No, I mean the series after that, Sunshine. But there's so much to it. There was so much content. So many characters were introduced. The Triwizard Tournament was fantastic for getting the undertones of what it was leading to. And just like there's a lot of character development. Like Harry, found love. Well, he didn't actually do anything in the fourth one, but you know, puberty was upon Harry, and things were happening downstairs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But Goblet of Fire is great. But Prisoner of Azkaban's a good shout. But it's Goblet of Fire all the way, and you're wrong. So there you go.
I'll tell you why I don't like Goblet of Fire as much, because that is the first one for me where I feel like Harry is like, I feel like it loses the realism, and he goes from being a kind of realistic student to being like the center of everything. And that's when it starts to get annoying for me, because what I like, what I like about the first three is that he's just like I realized there's the prophecy and all that bollocks. But what I like about the first three is it feels like he's just like a courageous student who finds himself in these scrapes. Whereas from number 4, it's like other people are setting him up. And I don't like that. I like it. I like Azkaban because the reveal at the end of Azkaban is amazing. And you don't have any of that like, did you put your name in the goblet, Harry?
Did you put your name in the goblet? Are you absolutely sure? The thing is, like, when in the book, that's not how it goes down at all. Because Dumbledore was like, Harry, be honest with me. Did you put your name in that goblet, young man? And then in the film, like bloody Gamble's just like throttling him. Where you put your name in the goblet of fire, you little shit? Literally what it is. And then he goes, "Welcome to the layer cake," and he winks and walks off. That was also
okay. And then we're going to do 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to give me the worst Harry Potter book. Okay,
that's tough. That's tough.
And it's got to be from the canon 7. You're not allowed to say Cursed Child or the other, like the comic relief ones. 3, 2, 1.
Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, Order of the Phoenix. Now, Order of the Phoenix, it was the only Harry Potter book where I actually got bored reading it at some points, and I had to like put it down and stop. It's so big, and she tries to cram a lot of it. I know a lot of it's vital information, but she tries to cram a lot in. Like the big revelations, a bit of a letdown at the end as to why everything's happening.
Well, I can't even remember that. What's the revelation at the end?
The prophecy.
Oh yeah, they go to the Hall of Prophecies, don't they?
Yeah, you find out why it all started and why Voldemort targeted Harry and not Neville Longbottom, who it could have been. But yeah, all these things, it's got good bits in it, but I just thought it's too long and yeah, I got a bit bored of it. Well, your Half-Blood Prince. Half-Blood, what, the bit at the end with like the zombies and the boat and drinking the liquid out of the thing in the middle of the island.
Half-Blood Prince, though, is like,
call me Harry.
So long. I think it's got the same problems that 5 has.
Order of the Phoenix
it's just incredibly long.
Half-Blood Prince isn't as long as Order of the Phoenix, though.
Yeah, but they're both too long.
Nah, I don't know. Anyway, should we talk about Hogwarts Mystery? Should we actually talk about the gaming side of this? So, Hogwarts Mystery, a lot of hype around this game from Portkey Games, released last Wednesday, and I downloaded it the second it came out. And I'm not gonna lie, I've not been able to put it down. I've been playing it constantly since last Wednesday, and I am really, really into it. And I'm not too sure why, because there are lots of problems with it. And one of the main problems, which you've probably heard about, and a lot of people are talking about, is the paywalls that appear. So a feature that is in quite a lot of these freemium games is the energy. So whenever you have to do anything or do any actions or any tasks, you use up energy. Once that's all depleted, you can either pay to get your energy back, or you can wait. So you have to wait 4 minutes for 1 bar of energy to come back. And the maximum at the moment for me is 26. But you can increase your energy max by completing tasks and things like that. But the thing it's been quite funny because the first time you encounter running out of energy is actually in quite a pivotal part of the story. And I guess this is sort of a spoiler, but a lot of people have been talking about this anyway. And you've mentioned it last week. It's the bit with Devil's Snare. Now, that bit is when the story's going forward and you're learning a bit and mysteries are happening, and suddenly you get wrapped up in Devil's Snare and your character's literally being throttled. Like the Devil's Snare is round your character's neck and like you run out of energy. So you either have to wait like, I don't know, an hour or so to be able to save him, or you can pay straight away. And a lot of people, and it was quite funny seeing a lot of tweets about this, were saying like, because people don't want to pay, they're sort of just closing the app and leaving their character to get throttled while they wait for the energy to go back up again. So a lot of people didn't like that. And that was actually, and it's quite a crafty thing that developers have done, that they've Because before that, it's coming. There's going to be a time when you're going to need to. They're going to throw a sort of pay thing in your face, like pay to win or pay to progress or whatever. But it's not addressed at all until that point. So it's a bit of a shock when you're trying to save yourself, and this big thing comes up and says you've run out of energy. Either wait or pay now to get more energy. So it's quite crafty. It's quite an urgent part. It's quite an important part of the story. And obviously, at this point, you're really engaged and you want to continue. And the fact that they've done that is quite crafty, because I'm guessing they were hoping a lot of people, oh, no, I need to pay. I need to continue the story and find out what happens. But I'm one of those people who doesn't fall for those tricks, Chris. And I've not paid anything so far. I'm actually I mean, it's a problem in gaming in general that they have this sort of system, and they don't just have it so you pay £2 or £3 and you don't have to do anything like this. But it's been fine for me because it's been ideal for me playing in bursts. Like, I'll play just before bed, I'll play as I'm getting ready before I go to work, I'll play on my lunch break, and I just want quick bursts of fun. That's what most mobile games excel at, is having little bursts of fun which you can pick up and play. And I'm finding that with Hogwarts Mystery, where I'm not really getting annoyed by running out of energy, because I feel like if I run out of energy, I'll just close it, wait for it to refill. I'll get a little notification saying your energy's full, go back in, and then I'll start playing again. So yeah, that's not a major factor for me, but I can see if people are really obsessed and they want to keep on playing it and just want to sit and play Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery, then I can see it being a bit of a pain. For me, it's not really been an issue, but I mean, it opens up a discussion about a wider issue about free games on mobile anyway, which we've probably discussed before.
I would love to know what the drop-off point is for people who downloaded the game, because
Devil's Snare must have been.
When we spoke about it last week, and I was like, have you got to the Devil's Snare yet? Because that was the point Emma was playing it, and that was the point at which she was like, no, like, I'm not as interested anymore, because it's like, that's the point at which it first starts to be like predatory for money. And obviously I know like people have kind of persevered, but I would love to see, I mean, they'll never reveal them, but I bet the stats are fascinating for how many people play, get to that point, and then like never go back on it again.
Yeah, it's definitely, as I said, it's just the fact it sort of comes out of nowhere. Like, there's no indication up to that point that you'd ever run out of energy or you need to pay money.
I really hate when a free, like, I totally understand free games having to have transactions in, but it really grinds me up when the way that they generate money is by limiting gameplay with energy or whatever. Because like, I've been playing Knights of Pen and Paper 2 this week, and admittedly I've played like not a great deal of it, maybe like an hour or something overall, but I loved the first one, and the second one is free to play, so I was a bit worried about it. But that game is so good because you can spend money on drops and items and costumes and characters, but it's not like, so far, as far as I am, I've never felt like you have to spend money. And I hate when the free-to-play game's currency is your time. Like, that's what really annoys me, because it's like, well, no, I'm losing interest now. You're stopping me from enjoying the game, so what's the point in playing it?
It is. I guess it is frustrating because it makes it very stop-start. It's not a seamless experience. So it's constantly,
and it's annoying when you've got like, 40 minutes on a bus or whatever, and you're like, I'm going to get loads of time sunk into this game, and you just can't progress. It's like when the willing's there but the game won't let you. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, that is the negative. That is the main negative. But I'm just going to quickly talk about the positives of it. I'll say it's a very nice looking game. The graphics are actually really nice. The animations they've done on the characters and the teachers is cool. The voice acting, where they've got the original voice cast, is really cool as well, with McGonagall and characters like that. I really like the music. The score is absolutely fantastic. It's very, it might even be the original score from the Harry Potter films, to be honest with you. It's that good. When I first opened it up and started playing it, I really was. I don't often play with the sound on in games, but I had the sound on in it, just because the Harry Potter music's fantastic anyway. Is it John Williams who does the score for Harry Potter? I'm going to quickly check that. I think it's John Williams.
Hang on, Colin.
Yes.
I'm ducking out for a second. I'll be back. Keep going.
Okay, I'll stall them. So Chris is gone. So yes, John Williams. I don't know if it's the original score, but it sounds like it probably could be, because it's fantastic. So things that it does well, they've got a dueling mechanic in it, which is actually really quite fun. It's turn-based. There's actually a little bit of skill involved with it. You've got 3 options, either aggressive, defense, or attack. And depending on what the other character chooses as well, depends on whether you can have a turn or whether you win that round, things like that. Actions you do increase your courage, your empathy, and your knowledge. And the more of those you get, the more conversation options come up. You have conversations with characters, and you can actually influence their thoughts and what they think by the choices. It's similar to a Telltale game in a way, but the more that you work on your different skills, the more voice and response options are opened up to you. There's lots of classes that you can go to level up, so you can learn different spells, different potions, things like that. And there's also this constant undercurrent where you're trying to get your house to be top of the house points. So for anyone who's familiar with Harry Potter and the books and the films, you'll know that all the houses, the 4 houses of Hogwarts, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Slytherin, are all battling it out throughout the year to get points to be top and to win the house cup. And students get points by doing well in class, and they lose points by breaking rules and things like that. You gain points as well by the conversations that you choose with teachers as well. If you give a response that they like, they will give you house points. If you say something a bit snarky, they'll take points away from you. Not all the characters have been opened, not all the lessons and all the subjects are opened at the moment. I'm still in year 1. Obviously, there's 7 years in total. So there's quite a long story here. I don't want to ruin the story. I did briefly mention the story. It's set about a year after the whole thing of Voldemort disappearing, so it's completely separate from Voldemort, but it's all linked to your character and your brother who used to go to the school, and he got expelled, and you're learning why, and you're learning a bit more about that, which is really cool.
With the house points,
yes,
I've been back a while, but I've just been listening. Is the house points, is there a social element to the game at all? Or is that just like within the story of that universe?
It's just within the game itself. So there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no social element to the points at the moment. I think I said this last week. I'm Slytherin, so I decided to go with Slytherin. You actually get to choose your house where right at the beginning. The sorting hat's put on your head, and you can choose which one. I decided Slytherin because Slytherin always gets a bad rap, and I want to give Slytherin something, something to be proud of. So I decided to go with Slytherin because I reckon a lot of people will go for your Ravenclaws, for smart people, and your Gryffindors because all the main characters from the films are in Gryffindor. So I thought it'd be nice to go for Slytherin. One thing that irks me a little bit is that Snape is obviously the head of Slytherin House. So you'd think it'd be nicer to you. He's an absolute bellend to you, and I'm assuming they've done it assuming you're being Gryffindor or something like that, but it doesn't matter what you do, and he's really nasty to you. He'll say stuff like he doesn't care about you, he hates you, he wants you to fail, he thinks you're a disappointment. And I'm a first year student. He's been really harsh to me, and it really is like, oh come on, Snake, you're the head of my house, be positive to me for God's sake. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of positive elements to it. It's got me hooked. It's not free roaming as much as I would like. You can go to different levels in Hogwarts, different parts of the school, and you just scroll along, and there's different rooms that you can go into. So you don't actually move your character, you just tap in a room, and you can go in and do tasks and do lessons and things like that. So I wouldn't prefer that you could actually explore yourself, but then by doing that, they would have had to have had on screen, directional pad or lever. I am enjoying it. As we've said, the issues with the pay to progress and the energy levels is something that's, it's not just with this game. A lot of games have it, which is really frustrating. But I'm seeing past that because I'm enjoying playing it in bursts. And yeah, I'm really loving it at the moment. I'm currently level 7. I'm in year 1 of the 7 years in total, and there's different chapters to the story. You can continue the story. Oh, another thing that is a bit frustrating, actually, which I should have mentioned, this is the last point. Although some actions you need to wait for your energy to get up again, all the tasks that you do are timed as well. So you sort of have to take both of that into account. So one task, you might have to complete it within 2 hours, real life 2 hours. But you've also got to wait for your energy to get to the top as well. So it's actually, you have to properly concentrate on the game and make sure you're looking at your notifications to tell you when you've got the your energy's full as well. Because otherwise, your energy might be full, but you might have run out of time with a task as well. So you've got to keep that in mind as well. And certain tasks, like to keep the story going, it might say you've got to wait 3 hours before that part of the story is available. And once again, you can either wait 3 hours or you can pay with gems and then open it up quicker, which is a bit frustrating as well. But as I've said, I'm not bothered about waiting. It's all good. Really enjoying it. And I think, Chris, you should give it a go. Just see what you think. I know your partner's been playing it, but I think you should give it a go and see what you think of it, because I don't know. I'd be interested to know your thoughts now. I don't know. I would say you probably wouldn't love it as much as me, but it'd be interesting to know your thoughts.
Yeah, but do I need
Sanctum.
another free-to-play game in my life?
Yes.
You know, I don't know.
Has a
Yeah, I'll
P.
give it.
Has a P.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. I do love Hazzy P. Speaking of
Give it a
free-to-play
bash.
games,
Yes.
oh, actually, can I ask one more thing? The
Mm.
Hogwarts Mystery, are all
Mm.
the years unlocked when you get the game, or do you have to pay for year 2, year 3, etc.?
What do you mean? You don't pay for the years. You have to continue the story to open up the other years.
Right, Colin.
Mm.
The biggest, we'll do some Nintendo news in a minute, but I just want to really quickly mention this because this is obviously a really big game at the moment, but especially on mobile. The biggest free-to-play game probably in the world, I would say at the moment, maybe, is Epic Games' Fortnite. And
Yeah, I've
today,
heard of it.
yeah, today season 4 launched. And it is huge. So I was playing it a little bit before we started recording, and basically they've changed a lot of the map. They've added some new features. They've cycled some weapons out, and they've brought in things like low gravity, as well as there being new unlockable skins, new unlockable emotes, new unlockable sprays, and new weapons to come and things like that as well. New challenges. There's an announcement trailer. There's also new stuff for Save the World, which I don't play. It's interesting trying to play it because when I played it earlier, there was a definite problem with weapons lagging, and specifically you being killed, but the sound of the weapon not going off because of like the poor connection. I don't know if that's just because it's super busy, but yeah, it's quite tricky. But it does look really good, and they've done a lot of quality of life stuff. So if you're interested, and they've changed our version as well. Just really quickly on the mobile version, they have changed things like they've added a way to cycle weapons. They've added a way to repair buildings. You can now have like auto run. They've changed the way that you can sort your inventory, and they've just genuinely kind of tried to make it a slightly less battery intense. I think they've made improvements to low-end mobile performance by changing the way background distances work. So yeah, read the notes if you're keen. We'll put them on here at handheld.wordpress.com. Colin, is this going to get you back to Fortnite, or are you not fast?
I'm dumb. I'm sort of done with battle royales, and to be fair, I was never really interested. I was never really into them in the first place. Like I played a couple of games of Fortnite on Xbox and then mobile, and it was fun, but I don't know, just not my thing. That's honestly it. It's just not my thing. I've still got the Pugga mobile game installed on my phone. I still haven't played it.
Did you play it?
No, I should give it a go at some point. I just can't be bothered. Maybe I'll give it a go this week and talk about it next week. We'll see. But
Wait,
no,
you got Devil's to endure.
Devil Snare, Devil Snare. I can't remember what the saying is. There's some rhyme. Hermione would know it, but she's not born yet. But no, I'm done with Fortnite.
She is born, isn't she? I thought it was set the year before they went to.
No,
it's the year when the parents went.
the year after the parents died. So spoiler if you've not read the Harry Potter books. Move on. Fortnite's dead. Oh, my energy is full. Grab my wand and go back to Hogwarts. I think I will.
Let's quickly race through the Nintendo news. Because there's quite a lot of kind of Nintendo company news. Because it was the end of the April. It's like the end of the third of the year. So there was like a Nintendo statement that came out, and lots of changes at the way the company is being run. For example, Colin.
Yeah.
There is a new Nintendo president, Shintaro Furukawa, who's 46, replaces the current president, Kimishima, who's actually 68. And this is quite interesting. Kimishima came in very much, he was meant to be like an interim president. Like he was there for 2.5 years, but he was meant to be like a soft replacement after Iwata. So now it looks like, hopefully with Shintaro Furukawa, He'll be there for a long time. He's worked at Nintendo and at the Pokemon Company as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of, how things change with a Pokemon veteran in charge, and how that changes the focus of the company and what they choose to kind of prioritize, I suppose. He was part owner, so it'll be interesting to what happens. He's also fluent in English, apparently, so hopefully we'll see him pop up on some of the Nintendo Directs. We also had the news by 500% thanks to the success of the Switch. There's a good write-up of this on geekwire.com. The Nintendo Switch is one of the most successful game consoles of all time. Nintendo reported net sales of 1.05 trillion yen for the year ending March 31st, which is about $9.7 billion. It's up 105% on previous years. So this is huge. They've sold 17.79 million units in its lifetime of the Switch, including 15.05 million in the fiscal year. And I know that the target was to sell 20 million this year. So that doesn't seem that tricky to, imagine now. So these are really huge financials for Nintendo, and fair play to them, because it's clear that it's been like a very popular success. You can actually read the financial briefings and report from the Nintendo website. We'll embed it on heroeshandheld.wordpress.com, so you can kind of go into it, and they do like the kind of presentation notes in English. And there's some really interesting stuff in there about how like Mario Kart on the Switch has now outsold Mario Kart on the Wii U, and how Bayonetta 2 has now outsold Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. So yeah, it's been big. It's been big for Switchy, which is good. That's what we like to see. Colin,
yeah,
there is something quite big around the corner. I don't know. I think you're the one in charge of sorting our tickets and our flights this year, because E3 is actually on the way.
Yeah, I think we've got a press we've got a panel this year, haven't we, with all the other podcasters?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a conference. It's gonna be really good. So come down to the Heroes Handheld Theatre.
We'll be just outside with our own little desk. It'll be great. We'll sign pictures of JRPG thumbs up as well. It'll be great.
Iconic. So Nintendo have revealed that not only is Super Smash Bros. For Switch going to be playable for visitors at E3, but they've actually put out a kind of statement of their like battle plan for the games they're going to be talking about. So they've said they're only going to be talking about 2018 games. At E3 2018 is planned. There is a Splatoon 2 World Championship, which starts on June 11th and runs through to June the 12th. Video presentation will be at 9 a.m. Pacific time on June the 12th. Then after that, 3 days of Nintendo Switch Treehouse Live, which will include more details on Super Smash Bros., which will come right after the video presentation. And the big event for me, the Super Smash Bros. Invitational 2018, which will start after the conclusion of the Splatoon 2 World Championship on June the 12th. Now, I love the invitationals because these will be people who maybe haven't, depending on what Nintendo do, it might be people being completely new to the game. And this is when we're going to really see some of the new characters and how they play. So I can't wait to watch that. It's going to be so exciting.
Nice. Exciting. Smash Bros. Is fun. Though I don't know if I've actually ever played the game. I must have played Smash Bros. With you at some point.
Are you going to get it?
It depends how much it is. It's probably about like 60 quid though, to be honest. We'll see.
But it'll be worth literally every penny.
Do I get to play as Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sorry?
Do I get to play as Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, I'm in. Anything with Sonic on, I'm in. Sign me up.
Colin.
Literally. Yeah.
How can people let's round off because you need to go to bed now. How can people get in touch with the show?
You can email us at heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Google Plus, any social media channel. We're probably there. We're even on Twitter at Handheld Podcast. We like to tweet throughout the week. You can review us on iTunes. You can find us on iTunes and review us on Stitcher and listen to us on Stitcher. We are everywhere. Wherever good podcasts are sold, you will find us. So you just Google Heroes of Handheld and you will find us. We're here every week. We do it all for free because we love you all. Thank you and good night.
Oh, wow. That's brief. Group chat for next week. We still want to know what Colin should spend his 25 eShop gift card on.
And for anyone who couldn't understand that, £25. If you had £25 to spend on the eShop for Nintendo Switch, what would you buy? Let me know, because I need some inspiration, because I've got a £25 eShop gift voucher. It's burning a hole in my pocket and I want to spend it. So let me know, what should I buy? It can be more than one game. As long as it's under £25, I'm on it. Let me know. Tweet, email, Facebook. Let us know your thoughts. Boosh.
Been a pleasure. See you next week.
Bye, Chris. I hope you enjoy Civil War. Oh, wait, Infinity War. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye. That makes no sense. Bye, Chris. Love you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Love you. Bye.